Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brandy Morgan and we talk about all things freelance, working remote, and of course creating the life that you want. So today's video, I am going to talk to you guys about how much money I make as a freelancer doing various tasks from web development, marketing, and social media. Those are basically the three things that I do as a freelancer, and the pricing on all of those vary. The first one, as a web developer, the things that go into pricing are not only your skills, but your experience. So how many times have you built such and such website for a client? The reason why that is so important is because if you're freelancing and you're offering these services that you build websites, people need to know that you've either done it before and they want to see it so they can decide whether or not they want to work with you. And also, experience is huge. I've talked with people that they're like, well, I have the skill set to be a senior level, but do you have the experience? Experience is really what matters when it comes to how much you charge and how much I charge. So just so you guys know, I have over 6 years of experience, which isn't a crazy ton, and that goes for all the things that I've shared with you. 6 years is not a ton, but it is more than 6 months. So I do charge a higher price as a freelancer. I will charge anywhere from $50 to $75 to $100 an hour, depending on what it is that I do. The reason why I charge that much is because I take into consideration obviously my experience, insurance that I have to pay, and all the other things that get deducted as being self-employed, like taxes, social security, all that sort of stuff. Those are things that as a freelancer or as a business owner, you need to consider when you are doing your own pricing. So you guys know that I charge anywhere from $50 to either $100. I have charged more than that, but that's really dependent on the project and who's hiring me. Okay, so when I first started off as a freelancer, I think my very first client, I built a website and they paid me $200 for it. And you're like, okay, well that's super cheap, or maybe you're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. First off, I was in college when I charged that much. I think I was like 12 bucks an hour, but I also knew that it was a learning experience for myself. So I was learning as I was going. So I was essentially being paid to learn. Fast forward, several years to now, I would charge anywhere from $50 to $75 an hour for a website. So I have made, a few $1,000s on websites to tens of thousands of dollars on websites. Why? Because it depends on what that client wants. So if a client is wanting an e-commerce like Shopify site or a WordPress site where I know I can just buy a template, yes, I said buy a template, and alter it so they can get their website way faster, and it already is going to have the functionality that it needs for their needs. So if you are somebody that's like, no, I roll my own, I do custom everything, that's good for you. 3 things when it comes to working with clients and, working with websites. You can either deliver something that's good, that's cheap, or you can deliver it fast. And you usually pick 2 of those things when working with a client, or you have them pick 2 of those things. It's either going to be fast and good, meaning you can deliver something very fast and it's going to take all your time and it's going to have everything they want. It's going to be more expensive. Or you can do fast and cheap, meaning it's probably going to be like MVP. It's not going to have everything that they want, but they're going to get it in fast, maybe a week's worth of time, and you're going to do it for a relatively low cost. So hopefully that makes sense to you when you guys are going through pricing, but that's what I look for and that's what I explain to all the clients that I work with. When it comes to marketing and social media, I have worked with clients where they will pay me upwards of $1,500 a day. So yes, that's $1,500 a day, and that's for in-person event social media management. I used to work in events before I got into programming. I used to run a large mobile conference, and I used to do all the social media marketing everything for it. And so I have experience when it comes to event social media management. And so oftentimes, a lot of last year, actually, people would bring me out to the events to help them run their social media and make sure that they, have influencers there, they have social walls, they have a hashtag, people are being monitored, you set up bots to monitor, all that sort of stuff. So I will charge anywhere from, $1,500 to $2,000 a day to be on site doing hands-on social media management for events. The other aspect of doing social media is just the normal social media of managing somebody's social accounts, where you can manage, one Instagram, or you can manage 12 accounts. It really depends on who the client is and what results they are trying to get and what type of business it is. I have managed anywhere from 3 profiles up to 10 profiles for one client at a time. And by profiles, that's the LinkedIn, the Facebook, the YouTube, the Instagram, all those different accounts. Those are separate accounts that all need to be monitored. And I can charge anywhere from $50 to $75 an hour doing that, or it would be a retainer cost. And my retainers for that type of management have ranged from $1,500 up to $9,000 a month. Holy crap, $9,000 a month? What? That sounds insane for managing social media. It may sound insane to you, but if you are dealing with a very, very public client, meaning they're a $1 billion behemoth of a client, what you do for them is more impactful than what you're doing for a mom and pop shop. Meaning more people are seeing that content, which means you need to have very, very, very secure safeguards set up while you are doing that social media management. And you need to be aware of what's happening at all times. So oftentimes, if you're dealing with a client like that, you are probably going to have more than one person helping you manage, because somebody can't be up 24/7 making sure everything is running properly and people aren't, going off on Twitter about something that your company did. So you need somebody basically around the clock monitoring those things. So yes, I have managed social accounts anywhere from $1,500 a month up to $9,000 a month. And that's because of the size of the company was really the main difference, and also the needs of that company. So next, marketing. So for marketing, what I often do for companies is I will A/B test websites, meaning if you are a company that you want more purchases to happen for your product, I will help A/B test that and let you know, okay, we need to do this, we need to do this. That's, very simple things. If you come from a web development background, about, heat maps, site planning, all those different things that you can set up on a website initially. But if they had somebody build a site that maybe isn't aware of that functionality, then they would bring somebody like myself on to implement, heat maps, A/B testing to make sure that, you deliver one website to one group of people and the next website to another group of people, and you see which one generates more results. So I do that type of marketing. And then I also do, e-commerce, which is, emailers, SEO, paid. I do a lot of Google paid and Facebook paid ads for companies, and the same thing. The price on that varies either from like $1,500 to $3,000 a month. Nothing more than that, because oftentimes I don't have enough time in the day to allocate a full 40 hours to one specific client. But if you are somebody who has experience in, marketing, or you've managed yourself for a while like I have, of the things that you can set up to make sure that you are as efficient and as effective as possible for your client. I hope that was clear on how much I charge and how much I make as a freelancer. So per month, I can make anywhere, it's usually between I've made anywhere between $3,000 and $12,000 a month freelancing. And that's very dependent on the type of clients I have at the time. I can go, I did, last year I took a break from freelancing. I finished out one contract and I took a break and I built my freelance school, which there's a link in the description. Free plug. I took a break for a few months to build out that school. And so I had a client that I was making $6,000 a month from. And I did that, I finished out that contract. So I had, $18,000 in the bank that I knew I could live off of for the next, several months before I needed to get my other client. So when you are doing your pricing, you need to be aware of how much it takes for you to live. What are all the things that are coming out? What tax bracket are you? What's the percentage? I always hold at least 30% in my business savings for taxes every year. What type of insurance do you need? Do you need eye, dental, health, all those things? You need to calculate that sort of pricing. And then that's where you can figure out what's your bare minimum hourly rate that you would need to make for that, especially if you are just starting off. So I hope that clarifies a little bit about pricing, how much I price and how much I make as a freelancer. Like I said, it varies every single it can vary every single month depending on the type of contracts you have. But for me, my income has been the same for a while. But that doesn't mean that clients don't come to me and say, hey, Brandy, we need to cut back your hours. We need to only put you at this amount a month. Is it still doable? That just happened to me. I literally had 2 clients at the start of this year say, hey, we need to scale back on your hours. Totally fine. And so now I'm making around a little over $3,000 a month in freelance work. So it varies, because last year I was making $12,000 a month for the last half of the year. So it really, 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 really depends on the type of clients you have and the type of work that you are doing. So if you guys do have any questions when it comes to pricing and the types of contracts maybe that you need to look at, let me know in the comments. I'll be sure to answer them. And yeah, I hope that gave you guys a little bit of clarity around what I make as a freelancer. I'm here to be as transparent as I can be about the type of stuff that I do and the amount of money I make as a freelancer, so you yourself can have an idea of what type of future you're trying to paint and the level of income you can get. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel below. Have a good day.